Hi everyone. So, just want to talk about going back to what I was talking about this digital stuff. I was thinking there's gonna be a point when evil meets good or good meets evil, and before that before that happens, there will be a lot of people who will attempt to stop the movement of this digital age. But even if some people do end up getting hurt in the result of it, in the end, the truth and justice will prevail. And it could go as far as, and it will go as far as going up to the higher branches of authority, but then eventually the system will clean itself out. And of course, that's all detective work. And so, no matter what happens, this system will aid in the equal 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 equality, I believe the word is, of the people. So just equal rights. Equality. And then I'm going to the definition. Equality. The state of being equal, especially in status, rights, and opportunities. So, no matter what, everyone will have equal rights. And we already know that, we already have that. But then also, like I was sharing in my other videos, people that are, or funds and organizations that are there to help the poor, those funds and those resources won't be able to get abused by other people that know rights and know how to withdraw those funds for their own personal gain or for their own personal usage other than what they were stated for. And that's why I was talking about the digital ID. The digital ID will basically be some form of identification like a responsible person has when they go get a bank account or gets a loan out the bank or something like that. So some of these people have mental problems and they're not able to hold their identification, and they're not able to function like other people are. So in a way, this is going to, this will be able to help these people and aid in their difficulties and weaknesses in their own personal life. And I also shared, where I believe schools should have cameras everywhere, because there's stories about people going in there and killing students, terrorists, people bullying other children. So as a parent, if you yourself have children, then you would want to be able to see that. And how are we supposed to know that it is in fact a terrorist attack if there's no footage to prove it? Whatsoever, besides what other people are saying. So that's the reason why I say the things that I say. And it's going to get so deep that probably innocent people will get hurt in the result of all this stuff. Because the darkness hides from the light. And there's a scripture that talks about that. It says, it's John 1:5. It says, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Neither do you, Matthew 5:15, neither do people light a lamp and put it under a basket. Instead, they set it on a lampstand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. John 3:19, and this is the verdict. The light has come into the world, but man loved the darkness rather than the light, because their deeds were evil. Acts 26:18, and they opened their eyes so that they may turn from darkness to light and from the power of Satan to God, that they may receive forgiveness of sins and an inheritance among those sanctified by faith in me. So see, this is God's work. This is not man's work. See, so this is all prophecy. This is all in the Bible. And this is the stuff that will be coming to fruition in a short matter of time. Because there's so much crime out there being committed That's not even funny. And a lot more can be prevented. A lot more. And see, as you guys seen here, the light. Okay, you could say the light is electricity, power, cameras, your computer. That is the light. That is your wisdom. That is the knowledge that is retained like in a memory chip. And without it, it's darkness. Like a cell phone that's turned off. There is no light vibrating or vibrating out of it or illuminating out of it, whatsoever. Unless you turn it off. Unless you turn it on, then you have light. So it's also the revelation of evidence or no evidence, the revelation of facts or no facts. That's the revelation of. And with this system that was prophesied, that it is now among us, it is a tool, and it basically acts like God, because how much crime is prevented now because of this system, and everyone will agree that it's a bunch. It has actually revolutionized the world, and it will continue to do so forever. So there's a lot more that there is to be done. There's still a lot more that needs to be invented, and there's a lot more that we have yet to learn. But all that will come in time. Right now, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of stuff that will be difficult to decide. But regardless of all that, we will have a system that will be fair and just to everyone. And whatever money and funds that that are issued to another organization for tax paying, for the taxpayers' money, and then that money is then, from my understanding, distributed for the people in different organizations, in organization form. We'll be able to monitor that and how that money is used, who got paid, how much money was used to pay employees, how much money was used and wasn't used. How much money was paid for labor, and not profit. And if there is profit, who did it go to? And how much? Because in a way, that's a good way to clean out the money. And it could be one. See, if I had, for example, an organization, so they put $10 million in it, and I had a crew that was doing the services, and that money is already given to me, 10 million for the project, and I gave all my employees 2 million, and then I profited somehow. I ended up profiting 5 million to myself. There's really no telling from this point is there is no point, there is no way of telling how this money got in this person's personal bank account. Besides the fact that this person got $10 million that was put into one organization, then that person can have an additional organization, additional business, whole different business. He purchases his own inventory, but bumps up the prices so he can have an overall bigger profit margin. So now he spends that $5 million over here, but in reality only buys $1 million of inventory, so he stays with $4 million. Then that business, he shuts it down, no longer exists, and he keeps the money, so therefore he's richer. That's one way that they could be doing it fraudly to make money. See, in the system with the computers, it's going to be able to detect stuff like this, and it will know exactly who owns the business, if there's any linking with these transactions or not, and if there is, who is it, and that's when the system will go in and check, instead of a detective going in there and checking it manually. The computer will be able to do hundreds, if not millions, by the time you do one. manually. So it's going to put a stop to a lot of corruption. But of course, corrupted people are going to find ways to to um, to hide this or to continue. But then slowly but surely they're going to be filtered out. And that's like that verse says. Something the chaff from the wheat. Okay, that's Matthew 3, chapter 3, verse 12. In winnowing fork is in his hand. His winnowing fork is in his hand, and he will clear his threshing floor, gathering his wheat into a barn and burning up the chaff with unquenchable fire. See, it's not really like, I think it's not really like an actual fire and a person actually burning like torture. I think it's what they're doing will be burned. Their evil acts will be burned either off of them so they can be cleansed. So another way they'll stop doing it, or it will be they will be unable to do that. See right here, Luke 3:16, not John 3:16. Luke 3:16 says, John answered all of them, I baptize you with water, but one more powerful than I will come, the straps of whose sandals I am not worthy to untie. He will baptize you with the Holy Spirit and with fire. So, water in the Bible is representation of cleansing or washing away of blank, 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 certain things. So, see, so there's going to be this filtration process that goes on, and see, this is stuff that's already going on. This is stuff that people are not talking about, and it's okay. Like it's behind the scenes. So, I mean, if you're watching this and you have no idea what's going on with this system, then you're gonna laugh. Obviously, you're gonna sit there and talk to your friends and say I'm crazy and pick each other's buttholes, tickle each other's assholes right there. That's what you're gonna do. But this is behind the scenes. This is you driving on the street thinking about where the fuck you're gonna go when the fucking cameras are watching you going where the fuck you're gonna go. This is you getting your fucking random thought to commit a crime because someone fucking assaulted you or harassed you or said something to you at the motherfucking freeway, so you decide out of nowhere to get the fuck off and do what the fuck you gotta do, and then the camera's on you, motherfucker. So, yeah, laugh all you want. You're just another fucking statistic. This is way beyond this shit. This shit is fucking far beyond any of that shit. And this is really the front lines of the new war. And who the fuck said we ever stop fucking advancing as a people? We never did. The only people that have stopped are those that got comfortable or haven't realized the potential they have in them. And we all have that fucking potential. We all want something to be involved in. We all want to be a part of something. That's why you have gangs. That's why you have bands. That's why you have business organizations. They're groups. They're people. They're connections. And it's not about money. Those organizations and whatever else might be. But what I'm talking about is not about money. It's not. What I'm talking about is far beyond that. And I'm glad that I filtered you motherfuckers out already. Because I'm not talking to you guys. Now, I mean, there's so many people involved in this that they know exactly what's going on. And they know exactly that one individual over another is not important whatsoever. We're all disposable of. Because it's a system. Just like you could get, say for example, the Apple organization, say Steve Jobs already passed away, say all the Apple organization employees and everyone that's employed there passed away right now. Okay, someone else could go in there and fill up those positions like if they never even existed. And then what will happen is they will have memorial posters of the previous employees there. Oh, it was this guy was, this, and this, and this, and this, all the way to the bottom, right? Not that they didn't make an impact, not that they weren't important, but it's a system. And anyone can go and fill those positions. So in the same way, it doesn't matter. It's a system. And it's a good one because at the end of the day, it's going to bring about a better future for not only ourselves here in the present moment, but also for the future generations. And if anyone commits a crime, it better be for a good damn reason. Because it's all about education. It's all about education. And if you're going to commit a crime, you're going to understand the reasons why. You're going to understand your the consequences you're going to face. Just like a seasoned detective would. We're going to understand everything. Nothing's going to be hidden. So with all this that I'm saying, that I'm talking about, there's going to be a point where good meets evil, or evil meets good. Because regardless of what happens, we're never going to stop moving and advancing. And eventually that's going to be the front line. When that happens, when good meets evil, or evil meets good, they're going to eventually meet. And we're going to be right there, ready for it. Whether, doesn't matter. We're going to be right there. And that's when a lot of other things will start happening, and like a new phase. It'll be a completely new phase of events. Because there's a lot of, right now, there's a lot of injustice. There's a lot of people out in this world that are getting punished wrongfully. And think about it. We all know the story. We all go to the store, to the local supermarket. And what happens when there's a bum in that shopping complex? They get kicked out. And if they don't want to get kicked out, they call the cops on them. And then they could even get arrested. You and I, who are not even bums, can go to a shopping center and attempt to sell an item of whatever it might be, and we could even get kicked out. And then they say because we don't have a permit. You know? So imagine all the other injustice that's going on. Why? Because a certain group of people want to make all the money that's circulated in the system. But see, this system that I'm talking about is going to take care of those people by default. So there's really nothing for you to worry about. We're all going to get what we have coming. And there's a lot of people without a home. There's a lot of people out there without a heating system, without AC, without a bunch of things. And the police, most of them are corrupted because of false teachings that they have been taught or that they have learned or that were passed down. And really they're not going by the book. So what do? They go around, and when a new recruit comes in, they teach them the same crooked ways that they've been taught. See, so when these people that are out there hungry and don't have anything to eat, think about the power of money. The power of money can get you whatever you want. The power of money, you understand what you can get and what you can't get from it. So if you had it, or you have access to it, you know what you can do and what you're capable of doing. So if there is a poor family in any state or country, and here comes this person that has a lot of money, well, guess what? He could basically own all that family by providing for their needs and giving them whatever they never had. And that person could have whatever he wants. So that's going on right now. And a lot of this stuff will be prevented because there's probably people out there that obviously are taking advantage of this. And I remember watching the Amber Alert film in the movie, and how this guy went and basically kidnapped this 12-year-old girl while she was walking from school or something like that, and he took her to his house. He raped her, of course, and then housed her there till she was like older. And then by that time, she gave him like 2 or 3 children, which he was probably raping and molesting as well. So that automatically gave me a thought later on that these people with money go into poor communities. All they have to do is take care of a family, and they could have all that. They could have that by default. And it's disgusting. And there's no one there that could tell them anything. That, or they could go and get any girl they want, because that's the power of money. Just like when you go into a club, you could pay off any girl. What do they want? They don't care about anything. All they care about is money. And I'm not saying that they don't care about anything, because that's not true. Some of them are more educated than I am. But what I'm saying is, money talks. And it's power. And then that power it could be used wrongly in the wrong hands, just like a weapon can be used wrongly in the wrong hands. So that's why that's why that's why I'm talking about all this, because it just came to me. It just came to me, and I'm having a hard time putting it all together. But there's a lot of people out there with talent. There's a lot of people out there that can be used in this project to make it more easy and better for for everyone, for the public, for everyone. And those people are out there. They just have to be filtered out. They have to be crafted for a specific purpose and goal. And once they are, then they can make all this possible. And and it will be. It's just a matter of time. And these people are going to bring about world peace and unity. And anything that anyone says, speaks about, everything is going to be monitored and recorded. And it already is. That's why most phones, you can't even take out the battery. iPhones and all that, you can't even take out the battery. Because in doing so, you shut off the microchip or the intercom that's within it. You can remove that, it will shut it down. There is no backup battery that I know of, or there might be for a certain amount of time. But see, it's all behind the scenes shit. And don't act like you're brand new in this shit. Don't act brand new. You know exactly what time it is. You know exactly what's going on. And this is ultimately to stop crime and to prevent crime. And to better equip people for what's coming. And what's coming it's great, it's awesome, it's beautiful. God's involved. Satan is slowly getting pushed away and out. Like don't be discouraged because of the way I fucking speak and the way that I conduct myself. Like, disregard that shit, please. You love God, I love God. God loves you, God loves me, just the same as he fucking loves you. So don't fucking sit there and try to pretend he loves you more than he does me. Or fucking Hitler. No, he loves us all the same, motherfuckers. So anyways, yeah, it's awesome. It's fucking awesome. And like I said, if any motherfucker wants to commit a crime, it better be for a good damn reason. And yeah, it's just like you knowing, okay, I'm gonna go kill this person, I'm gonna go commit this murder or whatever it might be, but I know when I do this, this is gonna happen. Because that's what any seasoned detective knows out there. They know because they know the law. They know they can't go around and talk to anyone about them trying to commit a murder because the person that hears it can also be um, condemned to prison if someone hears about it. You know. See, so what it really comes down to is laws and rights, and there's millions and millions of laws, and thousands of them that we can't even we could probably only remember a few because our program, our system, and our brain is not that advanced to learn all of them. But with the computer is able to. And with the algorithms, it can easily tell you who and what type of people qualify for these things or those things or whatever the laws are that are being passed at that time or not. So this is all it's there and it's in the making. And it's only going to get better and better and better, obviously. And that's what I'm all about. I'm all about advancing. I'm all about making better products, inventions, ideas, even this, because this is, I believe, the biggest thing that will get us to where we want to be. And don't act like you guys don't know. It's like if it's been done before, but we lost that art, but we're regaining that art. So lost art to state of the art movement. And yeah, I just felt like sharing this, and it's sad because it's really going on right now. All this stuff, it's really going on. Like, I've seen it. I've been to church. I've been to to that, just about anywhere. Like I've been to the shopping centers, and I've seen these bums getting kicked out. You can dress up like a bum or not. In a way, you could go out there and try to sell sodas or whatever it might be. Try to sell anything you want. It doesn't have to be that. It could be anything you want. And when you go over there, you could try to sell this stuff, candy or whatever, and they'll probably kick you out. You don't even have to try to act like a bum. You could be in a suit. They'll kick you out because you're not allowed to do that. They could even arrest you. See, and then not just that, but then you hear about people in different countries who try to conduct business in other countries, and then they're prevented from doing so because they're not going about it the right way legally. So that's why I see it's legal. That's why the computer's going to help you out. Because everyone is equal. Like, who are these other people or these other organizations that can, but you, as a different organization or business, can't? You know, educationally is okay, what are they doing that I'm not doing? What do I need to do to be able to do this or that? And obviously, the computer will give you this information by default. And it's that simple. And see, because there's people, like I heard, there's websites that are getting shut down from being accessed in different countries. Well, if they have that type of power to stop your website from being accessed from one country or the other, then that means they have access to your website right now and what type of regions it could be reached out to or not, who could see it or not. I mean, damn, some people might be clicking on your link and it might be getting directed to another website. I mean, just the other day, I was calling, um, this tow company to pick up my vehicle from one city to another city. I was calling different companies, and I got a lot of phone calls, a lot of weird area code phone calls, because see, people are probably monitoring that. There's sales representatives, there's hackers out there. See, and all this stuff is going to be stopped. Because see, there's salespeople, and they're taking advantage of weaknesses that you and I probably have no idea about. And it's in the system. See, and that's what I'm talking about. And these people know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, they can sit down and tell you, yeah, like, we know this, this, and this, and that's how we make our money. But it's providing someone with a service, so it doesn't really matter. In a way. See, so it's really introducing laws and new laws and advancing those laws and then moving on to more stuff. And obviously this is never going to end. This is always going to be a ongoing process forever. But see, I'm not rich. But there's a lot of poor people out there. And I know for every country, and I know for every state, it might be different, but you qualify for something. You have rights that you probably have no idea about. You probably qualify for money or medical. And if you're sick and you're on the fucking streets or just living at home and you think you can't get help and you're trying to get cured, or to, you have an infection and you have no remedy for it, and you have no idea, this whole time you had no idea that you could just go to the hospital and they'll look at you and they'll look out for your wound for free, and you had no idea about this. See, so imagine, for example, if you will, imagine the richest person alive right now, say 10 people that are rich. Imagine those rich people passed away. Boom, they're passed away, and they gave their own money to one person in their family lineage, or their family. Their family, like one person out of their family, and these 10 people now, say they're young, 5, 8-year-olds, and And they grow up, but they grow up differently. They grow up not growing up in the law. They grow up not knowing certain laws. So they don't really understand the way that you understand, or the way that you once understood, or they don't know everything about the law and stuff like you educationally do. You could take people to court. You could win cases. You could do all kinds of things. You know what you have coming. You know what you don't. But then what happens when these rich people grow up? Yeah, obviously there's gonna be people there to back them up, but then they could easily turn against that person to gain money because you're not around to protect them. See, so with this system, they'll be able to go back. They can look into your life like we weren't able to just a few years ago. Like these recordings, and every recording that has been done, they can be viewed from now all the way to you know the 3000s, 4000s. Right now we're just in 2019. So it's recorded. Once it's recorded, it really won't get filtered out the system unless they decide to shut down a certain website. But still, it's still in the eternal hard drives. And there's voice recognition and all that stuff. So yeah, we could hide whatever the fuck we want right now. But later on, all this stuff could come back, whether positively or negatively. And so yeah, it's very important because people that don't have anything, they're going to be represented correctly just digitally. And you as a lawyer or something that represents and stands up for the poor, you're just one person. You can't help out the whole masses. But with this system, the computer, it's able to. Not just in that area either. In all the areas, in every job title, and everything. It will help everyone all over the world. So that's how powerful this is. And it's going to happen with or without me, so I don't care. I mean, I just have a feeling or a sense that this is what needs to be done, and it will be done. And if you're poor right now, you don't have nothing, there's organizations and ministries out there that will help you. And later on, you get that coming without you even asking for it. And reasonably, how can that be distributed to these people? Obviously, it would have to be in the form of a fingerprint, iris print, voice recognition, or an ID. But you guys know these IDs can be lost or stolen. See, so what if someone knew that another poor man or poor woman or a poor relative had finances in their card or whatever, what's preventing them from stealing from them? So see, this is when all this other stuff comes into play. So this is, like I said, this is all behind the scenes stuff. So now these people can go and steal this card and go buy themselves some food. Well, remember, you're on camera. So now there's evidence that you're a fucking thief stealing from this person. See, so I guess a secondary authorization would have to be available, which will be, like I said, a fingerprint, iris print, or something to rightfully give the person their inheritance in a way. Because it's not really an inheritance, it's really their monthly funds, or what they have that other people work so fucking hard for in their lives to give to other people. You know, and there's different organizations, there's different ministries out there that do this for a living to help people out. And then there's other motherfuckers that are thieves acting like little Lucifer, just stealing everything from them. That's not right. It's not right for your organization and your business, and it's not right for other people that you're trying to help out. So I believe in this. I believe that it will help people out. But it has to be done rightly for people. And you know, we have eyes everywhere. We have cameras everywhere. So we have everything, you know. It's just how is it going to be implemented is the question. And I guess not the problem, because we're not focusing on the problem. We're focusing on the solution of problems. And there's people out there that know, that are geniuses, that know how things can be, how these things could work out. And these are the people we need to find. And once they're found, yeah, they need to be hired to they need to be hired to do these tasks, to make this work. And they're everywhere. And some of them are doing it wrongfully because they don't know any better. But once they're found, like, you could have a hacker hacking certain things, but these hackers can actually be used to make this better by pointing out a weakness in the system that they've noticed and they detected. And once they find that weakness, because that's what it really is, that's what it really comes down to. They find a weakness, and then, you know, the military or whoever, the high in authority, gets pissed off because this person is a fucking little genius and fucking up the whole system for them. So what do they have to do? They have to go in and fucking stop them. Hey, little motherfucker, what you're doing, you can't be doing that shit. See, but instead of just telling them that, they could actually be used to make this better, and make this grow. And this is on every scale, not just digitally. See, it's just a skill, like a gift basically what they did there at that moment in time, they found that person's gift. Whether they shut them down or not, it's not up to me to discuss. But they did find something, you know, and there is a bunch of stuff that we need to learn. And with this system, people, you're gonna be able to. You probably won't need, like, I mean, what I'm trying to say is you're gonna be able to learn anything and everything through it. That's all. And it's all about education. So you can go you can learn anything you want, anything you want is there. There's nothing stopping you. You can do whatever you want because you can learn it online. You can learn it right now. Wait, you don't know how to do something? Google it. It'll teach you how. So therefore you have that wisdom to do it. There's step-by-step videos and tutorials that will teach you. And yeah, you could brag about it once you learn it. It's okay. It's your skill that you've learned. It's alright. No one's knocking your progress. It's all about education, people. And a lot of people are growing up without parents these days. That's like the world crisis today, probably. There's a lot of people are growing up without parents. Their parents decide not to take care of their children. So there's a lot of children out there without parents. And some parents that have children don't educate their children. So with the internet, they're able to just go on there and learn whatever they want. Hygiene status, mentally, educationally, the whole 9 yards is there. So I remember I shared a video on YouTube where I said, well, why doesn't the church have some type of like recreational area where they could go and entertain themselves? Like a kind of like a bar, but without the beer. Adults like going there and hanging out. They don't have that at churches. And this will also be good. Why? Because children of the same age group can go and meet one another in a safe environment. Now, there's outside bars that sell alcohol, but then some of these people are influenced by alcohol and intoxicated, so there's no telling what will happen. So it puts these children at risk and in danger. And that's why there's cases where people get incarcerated unjustly. And who knows if this was something that someone did on purpose to get this other person or these other people in trouble on purpose or not. There's no telling. So that's why it would be good if every church or every religion had their own, places where people could hang out at, where their children could have fellowship with one another. Because not only will you be able to see your children hang out and have fun, but also see who they're hanging out with. Because you could be there. Because they're not there to do drugs. They're there to have fun. And I never said you can't be there. You could be there. Your grandma could be there. Anyone could be there. I mean, I guess the only problem would be the adults fighting over the pool tables while the children are watching them and their actions. Like, weren't you just telling me a few days ago not to fight with my brother about a certain toy? And you're over here fighting with this gentleman about who was going to play first? Can't you guys resolve it? Or is there going to be a bar fight? Like down the street? And obviously there isn't. Because these are educated people making decisive decisions and teaching those around them by example and leading by fucking example. So yes, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Just like, just when you go to McDonald's, you could go to McDonald's and what do they have there? They have the kids section with all the toys and stuff. Well, you can sit there and watch them play. It's the same thing. Someone could design this. It's easy. It's simple. Just put all this together. Excuse me. Hello, this is Francisco.
Hello, this is Matt calling from Thrive Client Care on a recorded line.
Okay.
Hey guys, received your email where you're requesting to cancel the Thrive Starter and the ESS, the Expense Search Solution.
Oh yeah, for create your website 123.com, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to reach out and see what was going on, see why you were wanting to cancel.
Well,